welcome to Game Set Matchup, the podcast where we talk everything partnerships, the good, the bad and the ugly.
Hello, hi everyone. So this week on Game Set Matchup, we spoke to Christian Walker at poundtoken.io. So this is one of the first British Isles regulated and backed GBP stablecoins. Now, you might ask, what exactly is a stablecoin? Well, you'll have to listen to the podcast to find out and understand just a little bit more about how this works within the crypto space. So we also touch on how they're going about their sort of partnership creation, within this sort of crypto space, including, obviously using Finder. And we had a quick discussion about the hot topic at the moment, which is NFTs. So non-fungible tokens, which you may not have heard of, but Christian gives his advice on whether these are worthwhile or are they just a bit of a fad. So again, have a listen and see what his take on it is. As usual, just sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. Okay, all right, hello everyone, and welcome to Game Set Matchup. So this is our podcast. We discuss all things partnerships. So I'm your host today, as usual, Carl Busby, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Ellie Gavin.
Hello.
Please welcome our guest today. We have Christian Walker, who is the head of partnerships at poundtoken.io. Hello and welcome, Christian.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, cool. So what we usually do at the start of the podcast, just to get a bit of an idea about yourself and your background, that kind of stuff. So do you want to tell our listeners just a little bit more about sort of yourself, a bit of your sort of background, what your current role is, and what is Pound Token?
Sure. So, as you all know by now, I'm Christian Walker. I'm head of partnerships at Pound Token. I've been let me tell you about Pound Token. That's probably a better place to start. Pound Token is a regulated GBP stablecoin, which is basically a crypto safe harbor. So if you trade crypto or you're interested in blockchain payments or anything to do with blockchain, then a stablecoin is something you've probably heard of before. So I've been involved in crypto since 2017, where I was a bit of a trader, and now I decided in 2020 to make it my job. I've been sort of doing partnerships roles in crypto since 2020.
Wow. Okay. Brilliant. So let me just for myself, obviously I know we've had, I think a brief discussion before about in terms of what we say what a stablecoin is, but just for like listeners and myself trying to work out exactly what that means. So it's essentially there's lots of different cryptocurrencies, obviously that you can have, obviously some more popular than others that obviously people are aware of. So is the idea of this is around trying to make this more, I guess, appealing and sort of like more understanding to like sort of general public, because obviously everyone knows what a pound is, obviously in terms of within the sort of UK. So the connection between like the crypto and obviously what this does. Is this a kind of case of like you can have crypto and then you can just use it like normal pounds or something? I'm just trying to get that understanding of how it actually works.
Yeah, so it's effectively blockchain pounds. So if you're interested in payments and how to take advantage of the blockchain, then you want to be looking at blockchain pounds. It's a stepping stone really for a lot of businesses that are aware that the blockchain is something that they should be looking into. It doesn't mean to say that blockchain is the answer for everything, I might add. It simply isn't. But for what it is the answer for, it's very, very good. So if you're in international remittance, sending and receiving money abroad, and you don't want the volatility of traditional crypto, but you want to use the blockchain because it's quicker, it's more transparent, and it's cheaper, then you can send a lot of money on the blockchain across borders for very little. And with a stable coin, you can do that with a token that's pegged to a normal fiat currency. So a dollar, a pound, a euro, a Turkish lira. There are multiple cash-backed stable coins out there. So it's a way of sending money on the blockchain without the volatility that comes with crypto tokens as we know them from the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I think Ellie's got a question for you.
Well, I know our listeners will be really keen to hear. How have you found Pound Token's approach change during these recent times? Because obviously we've had lockdown, COVID, everything. It's been a bit more difficult.
Recent, as in how recent? I mean, last week was a pretty bit of a bloodbath with one of the top 3 exchanges. I
Tell us
effectively.
about that.
I mean, it's just a classic crypto thing, isn't it? Whilst we're still trying to figure out regulation, there are all sorts of things happening in the space that probably shouldn't be happening, or definitely shouldn't be happening. A lot of people lost a lot of money last week and had confidence knocked with one of the major exchanges effectively going under. Generally speaking, I think during COVID was quite positive for crypto. It gave people an opportunity to sort of look into their finances, and we had a bull run in 2021, late 2020, early 2021. So there was a lot of focus on the space. There's a lot of cycles. It was a good cycle to be in. We're now going through a winter again, a crypto winter. But yeah, generally speaking, I think people are more educated now than ever before. Every time we go through a bull market cycle, people come out the other side knowing a bit more. Education is huge, and I think that's one of the main things we're here to do. We are not a crypto moonshot, as people call it. We're not the token you're going to make millions on. We are literally a utility token. If you want to use the blockchain for all its benefits, as I mentioned, which are top three are transparency, speed, and cost, it's cheap. Then you should be looking at stable coins. As I say, you won't get rich with us, but you will get utility.
Okay. And what does a gold star partnership look like to you? What would you describe as your perfect one?
I think a gold star partnership is one that's kind of, if you work on the relationship, then if you're meant to do business, you will. So it's not a hard sell. I've been in sales roles back when I was younger, and it's not quite double glazing as people call it, but it's picking up the phone and making a sale kind of thing. This isn't the case with partnerships. I think you don't know where it's going to go, right? And sometimes you have a conversation with someone and you might do no business, but they might introduce you to $1 million contract. So definitely the ideal partnership for me is one where we just kind of establish what we do, find that there is a synergy where one or ideally both will be able to work with each other. It's not just a one-way street. And then just see what happens, stay in touch, talk about products, get other people on the team involved in the calls that you need to have them on, and then, see where it goes from there, really. So not too much pressure. I don't think in partnerships you need to put too much pressure on the relationship. If it's meant to happen, it will.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally agree on that. So just go on that a little bit. Obviously, talked a bit about then in terms of, like I said, what's your sort of the gold partnership would look like. How are you sort of going about creating those? So obviously this is what we're here for, obviously at Finder, and that's one of the reasons why we obviously do the podcast and stuff, is just to give people a much better understanding of what it is your business does, and essentially hopefully get more people sort of requesting calls and wanting to link up. So, but what other avenues have you been using in terms of trying to create partnerships?
It's the usual, really, isn't it? I mean, there's LinkedIn's there in the background, conferences and events. We've just come off the back of Token 2049 in London last week, which was great. We had a stand. It's not cheap, but having a place where people can come and learn about what you do is very important, especially in crypto. I think people need that education piece. So conferences, other events, that kind of stuff, the usuals. But I definitely like what you guys are trying to do in this matching setup. I think, look, it makes it less expensive for everyone, because I might hopefully get some of the quality contacts from Finder that I would otherwise have to spend thousands from finding at an event, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think, like I said, 100%. So it's just that is what we're here to do. And I said, hopefully, so we can get some more people understanding. I think the bit you said about the education is the key thing. I mean, I kind of have
it took me a while. Well,
I think for everyone, with crypto, I mean, I think if I asked my wife and stuff like that, she still would have absolutely no clue whatsoever. But that is just like, that's the thing. You've got some people that kind of do obviously get it, and then others that literally still at the moment don't sort of fully understand, what the benefits and stuff are. So I think education 100% is a big piece with crypto.
And this is for all of our partnership people we've got listening. What advice would you give to your younger self when you were starting out, and the do's and the don'ts?
I think I kind of touched upon it earlier. I think don't put too much pressure on it. I don't believe in the hardcore telesales approach. It's got its place, but I think times are changing. So I'd say never poo-poo never turn down a relationship, like a conversation, I should say. You never know where it's going to go, whether it be the person sitting next to you on an aeroplane or just picking up that phone call that you don't recognize the number for. You never know where these conversations will lead. And in a partnership space, that's quite exciting. Take every conversation opportunity with both hands, because you might just find a win-win in there somewhere.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I think some great advice there. I mean, I think we've had a conversation with people, and it's a similar sort of thing, even on Finder. Sometimes, you may see a profile and you think, well, I can't see the connection, how this would work. But, you have a conversation, and like I said, you just never quite know what can obviously can come out of that. So, I think that's some great advice there. So another one. So, obviously having obviously created partnerships and done sort of this sort of thing for a while now in your career, have you got any sort of like top tips when it comes to creating high performing teams, or sort of like winning cultures within a business that can obviously help towards obviously bringing in those partnerships?
So high performing teams, if we're talking about internally, I have I've set up a couple of businesses before, and the one thing I would say is that rarely are the best hires on paper the best hires, period. I think it's all about attitude. Everything boils down to respect and attitude for me. So attitude is everything, the rest is teachable. So if you resonate with someone, run with that. Yeah.
I was going to say, just on that, I think this is just a brilliant bit of advice. I mean, I think a lot in this day and age, especially like you said, people applying for jobs and stuff. Just what someone says on paper doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to get, obviously, in the flesh. But the key thing, someone's got they've got the attitude, and that desire just to want it, that can take them along. You can take them a long way, as you said. Pretty much everything is teachable to a certain degree. So, like I said, it is more about, like I said, just giving them the right tools. Giving them what they need, and then if they've got the right attitude, then let them fly.
That's it.
And should I round us off with one last question?
Go ahead.
What does the future hold for businesses when it comes to creating partnerships with each other? And if anything, what will you as Pound Token be doing differently?
Exploring stuff like this. I mean, this is relatively new. I mean, with the exception of LinkedIn, there hasn't really been, that I've come across, a sort of matchmaking platform. And admittedly, I need to find more time to be proactive on the site than I have been to date. But I do try and take the meetings when they come up to have those conversations. But in terms of what we'll be doing differently as well, yes, I'll be spending more time on Finder. And that's not a shameless plug. It's just one of the things that I am actually intending to do. I'd say that's it, just exploring all these avenues. And that's the nice thing about being in a head of partnerships role. You never quite know what tomorrow is going to bring, especially in a startup. You wear a lot of hats anyway. So just be open, agnostic to opportunities, and get on sites like Finder and have a little fish around, because you don't know where the next opportunity is coming from.
Well, no, it's a great advice. Always, again, we haven't paid him or anything for the plugs. That's, like I said, we do obviously appreciate that. But 100%. Like I said to you, this is why our sort of platform is here, and like I said, we are trying to get people into that partnership space. And like I said, everyone on Finder are vetted decision makers. So like I said, the conversation would be good. I think just one thing. I mean, obviously, been really, obviously interested talking about obviously what you're doing and stuff. What's your, again, it's just a question for me, it's nothing on the cheap. What's your opinion on NFTs? Because I know that is part of the crypto space. I don't know if that's something that obviously sits or has any connection within sort of the Pound Token world. But I am intrigued, because this seems to be, or has been, the new sort of buzzword over the last few weeks, seeing all sort of articles and headlines around NFTs and stuff. I saw one this morning, something I haven't read it properly, but what's your opinion on NFTs?
Proceed with caution is my opinion.
Okay.
Look, I definitely believe, like, the way we need to start looking at crypto now is not to become crypto millionaires, not when Moon, when Lambo. These are you ain't going to make that money anymore. There are opportunities, but it's super high risk and super high reward. So just go into it preparing to lose money.
Yeah.
With NFTs specifically, I do think that there is utility. Utility comes from things like memberships or provenance, like digital provenance, like when you sell a piece of art or a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of wine that's super limited. With an NFT, you can establish that is the bottle of wine that you bought. That is the piece of art that you can track it all the way back. NFTs aren't that dissimilar to tokens, to be fair, in the properties that they come with. So it's all about utility. That's what I would say. You know, if you're looking to buy just a JPEG, that's cool. People like to own stuff, but there's no real utility there. So beware of overpaying and expect to overpay especially when the news is talking about something. The chances are the spotlight's on it and you're going to overpay, right? If it's a genuine utility, then sure, you know, then buy it. I mean, I have a membership to a club which is NFT based. I have NFTs that do prove digital provenance of hard physical items. So yeah, no, there's definitely a future for NFTs, but it isn't JPEGs of monkeys and apes and stuff. Although I will say, not a lot of people know that they do come with benefits in the smart contracts as well. So there is a little bit deeper than just a picture of an ape. But I'd still say proceed with caution. If you don't know about it, then do your homework or don't bother just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds like some good advice. I'm not going to be investing in anything just yet myself, but just wanted to speak to it.
Far away.
I still find it in this day and age fascinating that, you know, we are, people are paying for essentially what is ones and zeros, in the data. I just find that's quite hard to get my head around sometimes, but you know, the world is changing all the time. So we're coming to that digital age. But listen, brilliant. Been really, really, really good speaking to you. I said, thanks for taking the time to obviously come and talk to us. And like I said, hopefully our listeners now have got a bit more better understanding again what sort of Pound Token is. Obviously, people want to reach out to you, so they can request a call and find that, obviously. Like I said, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming on.
No problem.
Thanks, Christian. We'll speak soon. Thank you.
Thanks for joining this week's Game Set Matchup. Tune in to hear more about the need to knows and the do's and don'ts when it comes to creating successful business partnerships.